So I've switched places in the room, though I suppose it doesn't look terribly different to you. That's because I'm working on getting my apartment packed. As you know, Rach and Caroline, and anyone else watching this, as you probably don't know, I'm only going to be in my apartment for like a month and a bit now. Because it's getting to the end of June and my lease ends at the end of July, and I haven't been able to get work in the city, which makes me a little sad, but it also in a lot of ways makes sense. It's not a really good job market right now. So I will be heading back to Ontario, to my parents' house, and hopefully we'll be able to find something there, work-wise. But until then, at this point in time, it does not make sense for me to continue looking for a job, simply because even if I could get something, it doesn't make sense, because I don't want to stay in the city for something like a part-time job in a store. That's not what I'm interested in doing, and it's not worth the money I have to spend to keep the apartment and to pay the bills, when in theory I can go live with my parents, help them out with the bills, even if I just have a part-time shop position there. It's not going to be as financially draining as attempting to stay in my own apartment. So instead of looking for a job, I find myself having to fill up my time. And how I've decided to do this is I've been really working on my writing. And right now I have 2 big story ideas going, and another smaller one that I thought of last night that's really sort of so I'm really working hard on that one today. And these story ideas are from my love of Arthurian literature. So in order to really get down and be able to write, I've been trying to read as much Arthurian literature, modern or traditional, that I can. Research, it's awesome, and it's really awesome because of course the library has some options, and it's nice to just be able to go in and look around, because it's not always something that's going to be labeled, like a section labeled Arthurian literature, as much as I wish there was. So going in and looking around and trying to find something that sounds interesting is really awesome. And check out what I found. It's a graphic novel, and it's awesome. What I found, especially when you read some of the canonical Arthurian literature, like the big names for it, so de Troyes, Mallory, Geoffrey of Monmouth, sort of the big traditional people for Arthurian literature, you start to know how most of these stories go. And you also recognize that they are going to change, because of course Arthurian literature is just super old. Arthur as a character has gone back for ages. So of course none of these stories are like the firm story, because even if you have a general tale that's told, it's always going to have different versions of it. Like, you've got the general themes, like the love triangle between Arthur, Lancelot, and Guinevere, Tristan and Isolde. Like, general themes. Merlin disappearing and being buried under a tree. General themes. But the stories themselves are always going to change and sort of do this dance. And it's really then neat to experience that through into modern literature and get a feel with what you yourself can do with some creative license. And this book, this has been one of my very favorite recounting of the Arthurian tales. And I read it last night at like between 11 and 12 at night. I couldn't sleep, so I was just like, I got this, I'm gonna read it. and I caught some clips of all the different noises I make. So I'm gonna play those for you now. Guinevere has just shown up as like a warrior, and this is awesome. I like her better in this one. Girl, but oh, it's lances on the oh. Yes, lands. Darn it. We really need to kill Mordred. Well, he's gonna die now, isn't he? Arthur's going with him, but Mordred's gonna die. To death! To death! I am a weirdo! Yeah, so as you can see, I got super excited, super into it, though quietly so, because I am in an apartment building and it was in the middle of the night. But what made me really like this version is, while it changed the story, and it had sort of those happy endings where... happier endings. So it's very neat to see how it changes, but even more so how they reference bigger moments that aren't actually appearing in it. For example, I have one request, my lords. Let me strike the first blow of the battle. Let me kill the king as if cutting the head off a snake. Well, that's in reference to the fact that the final battle between Arthur and Mordred in Mallory's Morte d'Arthur actually started because there was a snake that attacked a knight during the peace talks, and the knight drew a sword to kill the snake. And everyone saw the sword and went, ah, and then battle. And then there's just this throwaway reference here with two men talking. And then they discovered that she's only a hag during the day. This is actually in reference to a story with Gawain, in which he ends up married to this really ugly hag woman, so that Arthur can basically get out of this really terrible deal. He had to find the answer to a riddle, and the woman promised it to him if she got to marry a knight. Okay, well, what happens is Gawain has to take her to bed on the wedding night, and she turns into a beautiful woman. And he's just like, ah. So she explains, like, I'm a hag during a day and a beautiful woman at night. I can change these around. I can be beautiful during the day and a hag at night. What would you prefer? And so he says, I want to keep you for myself, so stay a hag during the day and beautiful at night. And she says, well, isn't that going to be punishing me because I'm going to be around all these beautiful ladies? So he's like, okay, beautiful during the day and a hag at night. And she's like, but I want to make you happy. And he was like, finally he says, okay, you choose. And it's just like, correct answer, because what Arthur had to discover is what a woman most wants. And the answer to that is to make her own decisions. She wants her way. So Gawain, in saying, okay, I can't make this choice for you, you have to make it, basically breaks this spell, and she gets to be beautiful all the time. Woo! Lesson to you! Let a woman choose what she does with her body. Even Gawain figured this out, and Gawain's not the most level-headed of the knights. He's considered very hot-headed. So if Gawain can figure this out, so I really like the fact that then you get these references. So while the story that they're telling has changed slightly, it's just like, hey, 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 but I do know the source material, and I'm poking at it. So I got super excited about it, and I wanted to talk about it a bit. And I am working on my stories. I'm super excited. I like Arthurian lit. Along with my writing, I am keeping up with my HP with a BA series of videos. For new people watching, if there are any of you, I'll put a link down in the, I guess I'm gonna go with doobly-doo. And I'll have the next video for that one up tomorrow. So, okay, now I'm done. Bye!